Hello, welcome to Dark Night Healing. My name is Julie. I'm going to do an oracle reading for you today from the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck. Alright, so we have creation. So you're starting to create something, you're thinking about creating something. You could be working on some blueprints, some drafts. Whatever this is has a lot of math involved, and you obviously love math. This is hurting my brain. There's so much math. Maybe you're an engineer, and you're now contemplating the universe. Well, good luck with that. The masculine. This is something you've been working on for a while, but you've only recently learned that you've had to turn away from your old life, and you're a bit resistant to that. You spent years building that old life, yes. It's yours. It will always be yours. There's nothing wrong with that, but in order to grow, we have to move on. Like, we can't always remain stagnant. And you're obviously at a melting point almost. What else, Spirit? You're very much stuck in your head. People are telling you and probably saying you're not paying attention a lot, which is not normal for you, because normally you have very precise hearing and maybe a photographic or a eidetic memory. You have some people around you who are trying to unlock you from this, but there's something there that has you won't let go of. Something that you're not seeing, something that you're unwilling to let go of, a pain, a trauma, nourishment, people maybe, someone you're not willing to let go of. People think nourishment is just food. That is not the case. Nourishment is whatever goes into our body and auric field. Other people's energy, other people's thoughts, other people's opinions, that can be our nourishment. As well as other people's ideals, beliefs, that can also become our nourishment. Television is our nourishment. What we put into us visually, in our nose, what we smell, what we taste, what we ingest, who we align ourselves with, the type of people we marry, all of that is your nourishment. Every single thing you do is your nourishment. And if you choose badly, then you're nourished badly. Plain and simple. Darkness. Yeah, so you've really been stuck inside your head. Something has, you want to create this thing and you love the idea of it, but you know that doing that means letting go of something else that you love or you thought you loved more. You thought you loved more? What does this mean, Spirit? Well, that's too much. I'll take the one that's face down. Oh. It's our friend, the unexpected. You thought you loved more. You unexpectedly don't. Or you unexpectedly won't. But something is shifting, something is changing. Something that you're not seeing. Let's see what the One World Tarot has to say about this. Let's open it and expand. But your nourishment seems to be a problem. So it's not saying with this might be a couple of people with the masculine card that you've turned away from. But I don't think that's it. There's something you're holding on to. It's something that you're cherishing, that you refuse to see the truth on. Or it's not that you refuse to see the truth on. You just won't allow that to be the final truth. You believe that it can be changed and that enough love can change it. You think if you have enough love that you can change them, and so you refuse to see what's in front of you. This is a person. You want to build something, and this person keeps promising to be there, to want to be a part of it. And they're not. Why does this person keep... Why do you allow this person to keep holding you back? What promise did you make? The only promises we owe ourselves are ourselves. If we've made a promise that goes against our truths, then you can't keep that promise, especially if it keeps putting you into a broken pattern. The sun. So you are coming into this space, and you will create this space where you are on top of the world and you are the winner. But this comes after a very long time of being held down. Many years of being held down. Each time you tried, you got pinned down harder. This might be an abusive relationship. It might not. There is someone in your life, however, Empress type person. She's very stern and strict, but she's willing to listen. She has wisdom. She's sly like a fox. Animals love her. She's a giver. She's very wise. She's also very independent. And I don't think this person is a romantic person in your life. It might be a mentor, a good friend, someone who you look to for advice, but also someone who's been there for a very long time. A magician. So you're definitely transforming. There's definitely unexpected gifts coming in, maybe spiritual gifts. You might be receiving some psychic abilities, or maybe you're working on some psychic abilities. Your friend will be able to help you with this, the Empress, but you have to let go whatever this is. If this is a relationship that is no longer serving you, this person was hurting you and holding you down, if this was a job that just kept overlooking you and sticking it to you, whatever this is, you have to accept it and let it go. Like, let that version of you die. There's a version of you that deserves to be born. A version of you that you've suppressed. King of Wands. Someone is a male figure. Flashy male figure. It's going to come in too. This person will help you relax a little bit. And while I get that there's tension between the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords, or who is the Empress. So there's tension between the Empress and the King of Wands. However, they're working together to help you, which is interesting. I'm going to assume that these are family members, perhaps old friends. Seems to be some sort of issue between the two, but they both want to help you. They both want to help you do better, which is, I guess, lucky for you that you have two people who support you but don't want to support each other. Maybe it's because the King of Wands is too flashy. Sometimes Empresses can also be a little bit stubborn because, you know, they're the Empress. You have to listen to me. And sometimes it's hard for them to listen to other people's opinions. So maybe that's what the issue is between the King and the Empress, is kings can be haughty and they want their opinions, but then, you know, I'm the Empress, which means I'm above all of you. You can put 5 kings together, I'm still the king shit. So maybe that's a spiritual thing. Maybe it's an energy thing where her energy is just more magnanimous than his and he has an ego problem. Either way, these people want to help you. One's waiting for you to ask. The other one's just gonna march in and tell you. It's gonna be a parade. But the other one has even other things. The Empress is busy. She's creating things and she's resting by the river and, you know, thinking about the next steps. This guy's having a party. So whatever that ever means to you, or whoever they are to you, you will know. They're very important to you, though, as you designate them as a king and an empress. So obviously you designate her above him in wisdom, which means she probably got you out of trouble more than he did, judging by the flair and the pomp. Just, once you choose whatever to leave this behind, this nourishment, these people, the discernment, whatever it is that you're stuck on that you can't let go of, once you finally let go of it, this is going to snowball. Like I said, the unexpected card, she's a friend of ours regularly, and so we can't really expect exactly how this is going to go down. I can tell you that these two people, though they have disagreed for what feels like a long time, they want to help you. One will wait for you to ask. The other one's just going to show up at your door and take their advice, because this isn't leading to something bad. It's leading to something great and unexpected. And, you know, all the best things in life happened because of something unexpected that turned into something great. You know, if life was just one big boring day, that would suck. I mean, I know personally that I have lived more in my 47 years than most people have ever experienced in their entire 80 to 100 years. But I couldn't imagine living the same boring day over and over again like my uncle, with a few, you know, craziness is thrown involved. I don't know if that would be for me. I like spontaneity. I like difference. I like change. I like routine as well, but for 30 years over and over again, that would be hard to take. I guess that's the Virgo in me. I like routine, but I like change. But yeah, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe you're a Virgo that's been trapped in this way for a long time. And it's just become stagnant. Yeah. The unexpected is leaving to your Sun. Like, you are going to come right through that portal and be awesome. And there's going to be people with you, like I said. They're going to be with you. This guy's going to show up. The other one you have to ask. You don't have to be stuck in your head. And you don't have to continue dealing with this anymore. You know, if this is an abusive relationship or an abusive workplace or even a parent, an older parent that you're dealing with, or sister or brother, friendships, whatever this is, just because you agreed to something doesn't mean you have to take abuse. It doesn't mean you have to continually be held to a standard if the other person is not holding up their end, okay? You can say no. Even if it's a marriage. People don't realize this, but marriage is a contractual obligation. It literally says you agree not to harm, but to cherish, to love, to honor, to hold. To uphold your love above everything else. Till death do you part. Unless you're Mormon, and then apparently you're signing up for that shit for eternity. Watch out for that, guys. But that's a contract. If you don't follow those obligations, or you cheat, or you go against that contract in any way, the other person legally can walk. They have legal rights to leave because you didn't hold. So don't hold yourself to a standard or a belief that the other person isn't willing to hold themselves to, because they signed that contract just like you did. The only difference is you believed in it and they didn't. Yeah. So if this is a job, or if this is a relationship or a person, remember that you are a person in that contractual agreement, and you can walk without guilt because you held up your end of the bargain. That's why we have contracts. So we can take the feelings out of it and do the feelings later. You didn't do the contract, I'm gonna leave, and I'll go deal with my feelings later. This is gonna lead to great things. You're gonna feel some feels, but great things are coming. Other than that, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this really resonated with you. And I hope for whoever this reading was for that it sends you in the right direction, because it looks like you're definitely going to have a good time if you choose the right way. Get out of your head, bud. All right. Message me at darknightheal@gmail.com. Or check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube.